Guys, welcome back again to my channel. So now the obedience have come out to issue warning to Deji Adeyanju for lying against P2B. P2B is among those you should never try to threaten or lie against. So Ray did the same thing, and then he saw his own share of it. Now Deji have come out again to lie against P2B. Now he's getting his own share, and I've come out before to deny it. But just take a look at this video and hear the warnings that was sent to him by the obedience.
Theater art lawyer Deji Adeyanju, theater and media art performing lawyer barrister Deji. Brad Deji, stay one place so that God can use you for there. Barrister Deji, if you want to sign into APC as your new party, be man enough to do it with your full chest. You have the right to do so. Because if your mentors, people like Reno Mokri, Daniel Bwala can do it, you too can do it. You have the capacity to do so. What we no go allow is for you to use mischief to achieving your purpose. No use Peter Obi to do your audition, because what you are doing is auditioning. You are doing stage performance for an audience. For me, as Peter for Nigeria, I would not want to give you prominence or join issues with what you say for two reasons. Number one, because your statements and your position can change per time depending on the circumstance. Number two, because you, Barrister Deji, like myself, you have no political capital. You cannot sway one polling unit. So there is no need investing time and energy in non-essentials. And the problems when Nigeria get past all these ones where you dey talk, we have serious issues to face. But we live in a country where there is high level of ignorance and people can get confused. So anytime there is mischief, we need to call it out. So my message is more to Nigerians than a response to Deji Adeyanju. Nigerians, make we leave distractions, focus on important things. But let me tell you, I beg, listen to me, Nigerians. Not everybody who criticizes a bad government is interested in a better country. A lot of people no hate corruption. It is who is involved in that corruption and how it benefits them. Na im matter. The same thing where person call corruption, once it begin to favor them, it can change to grace or testimony. You see this thing called criticizing government. Some people will only be in business for as long as there is bad government. Once you fix government, you put them out of business. So when you see person wake up every day, they criticize government, two things can happen. You fit build platform. You use that platform to continue to fight, make government good, and you can still use that platform to begin to support and work for the same bad government. So you should be very wary of people who go wake up every day, claim say you they criticize government. You will not profile any solution. You always talk about problem. Barrister Deji go tell you how Wike cousin they work for INEC. Judiciary is bad. This is bad. You have your own personal life experience, but you will not work to getting the solution. Rather, people where they try to do their best to also support their country, you will begin to attack them. You go wake up one day, you go talk about APC for 1 hour. You will spend 5 hours talking about Peter Obi, who is a private citizen, who left government since 2015. 2014 as governor, 2015 as Security and Exchange Commission chairman. For more than 11 years, you continue to criticize or attack that person. So the thing where you are doing, you are the opposition of the opposition. Stop deceiving yourself. Stay one place. Let me make it clear to you and to Nigerians. The person where you the attack, Peter Obi, his competence or his character is not in question. It is not in contest. That issue has been completely settled and resolved. And I will give you why. Deji Adeyanju, you cannot even talk about fraud, because the greatest fraud or the most fraudulent person na person where they use backdoor to support corruption and criminality. For you to even make the statement say if Peter Obi is on the ballot, you will rather vote for Tinubu, it tells everybody where you stand. Stop deceiving yourself, Barrister Deji Adeyanju. On the issue of calling somebody a fraud, the only people who can even question the integrity and the work of Peter Obi are two people. For 11 years since he left office, two people have been governors in Anambra State. Number one, Chief Wilberforce Obiano, he dey US. Before he left to the US, he get 4 billion naira misappropriation of funds case with EFCC. The current one, Professor Soludo, where don't turn himself to Peter Obi's spirit husband. Every day they run him out like canary. 2023, he refused to, he no support Peter Obi. He came out and wrote long epistle, they criticize him. He said that was part 1. Say if Nigerians do, he go release part 2. Barrister Deji, when Nigerians come back, wake up, say, oh yeah, bring part 2. Till today, Professor Solutions, he no bring part 2. He never resolve Agune Chamber na to bring part 2. In fact, it was so bad so that his own son Ozona came out and say he no one involved in this political talk, but Obi his own preferred candidate. I apologize for bringing the governor's son, because he said I don't like to bring people who no get any hand, but he's the one who put out the statement. It is in public, and that is why I'm referencing it. So Barrister Deji Adeyanju, now when they talk about Peter Obi, they talk about standards. When you talk about other politicians, there are no standards, because they are in moral turpitude, criminality on steroids. Not be Peter Obi night one of the people where they were APC go Chicago University to confirm say it's a known drug lord, so it is a non-starter. Stop being a distraction. Nigerians, focus on important things. 2027 we have an election coming. The risk where they at for our own now is for us to rescue ourselves, because ask yourself the question, if not for a corrupt INEC and corrupt Nigerian judiciary, will we be saying what we are saying? When I know how 2023 go now, the same people that are a beneficiary of a corrupt system, they don't see anything bad in it, and that is what people like Barrister Deji, you are enjoying. If not, you will be how many days on the bar? You will not be leading a panel in NBA conference when older lawyers in the bar sitting to listen to you. It's because you are a beneficiary of the corrupt and criminal dysfunctional Nigerian system, so you are looking for opportunity to score cheap political points. Oga, go and do your auditioning for yourself. Allow Nigerians to focus on important things. Nigerians, soldier don't kill another girl for Delta. Until we fix government, people go they cash out. People, charlatans will step in and continue to make a mockery of our lives, claiming to be speaking up or criticizing government, when in the meantime you they talk about government for daytime, for backyard you they work with them. Nigerians, let us focus. There is a lot going on in this country. Our problem past Deji Adeyanju. Peter Obi is a private citizen. If he feels his person is being defamed, he can seek redress how he chooses to do it. Nigerians, let us focus on helping ourselves. Election they come. Our lives matter. God bless Nigeria. My name is Peter for Nigeria. Barrister Deji. So you no go even say you go vote for your brother Showore. You say you go vote for, you no be better person, Barrister Deji. Stay one place, may God use you. My name is Peter for this Nigeria.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Barrister Adeyanju Deji. This is Obedient General. I want to appeal to you, in as much as obedience, whatever you tag us to be, you need to understand that the Obedient Network, which I believe in, which I practice, is one of those things that has come up due to this frustration of bad governance. Some of us we didn't grow up here. We left the Western world to come back, and the only platform we could see to voice out our frustrations rather than taking up arms was through the Obedient movement. We have grown through the rough streets of Nigeria. We saw violence, but we chose not to be violent. You as an activist should know that among the bad leaders we have, that P2B is one of the best. And that is why we are following P2B. And now having a comrade, an activist like you, take on him like this, I don't know what you want to achieve. We urge you, do not turn other comrades against you. Think again. Allow P2B to continue to face already attacks from those that are scared of him, not you. I don't believe P2B will bribe you. I don't believe. We know P2B very well. A whole lot of us know his approach. What do you want to achieve? What do you really want to achieve? To be popular or what? We appeal to you to please desist from these attacks, because that's not making you popular. The obedience you are calling, when we call you out, we will even block your page in few days. But we don't think we are having issues with you. Whatever your issues are with P2B, please we advise you to please, as a matter of urgency, desist from these attacks. P2B remains one of the symbols of good governance, and the only person we believe that will reduce the cost of governance, thereby providing for the more needs Nigerians crave for. Barrister Adeyanju, please stop this.
Let's start with that. Let's take it back to what our previous guest spoke about when he was talking about the criticism of Mr. Peter Obi. The people are criticizing him that about particularly concerning the passport renewal and all of that, and that's not the only criticism. He's also gotten some clapbacks from people about his comments concerning the Rivers State elections and all of that. What do you make of all of that? First of all, his comments and the clapbacks that you've heard.
Well, it's not new that there are clapbacks to everything. I genuinely believe His Excellency Peter Obi could say water is good for the body, and the opposition would drum up some argument against that and say he's trying to water down Nigerians' opinions. That is not, it's not new. It's just a factor of fear. I mean, we all saw what's happening in Rivers State. We all saw what seems to be an unconstitutional overthrow of a democratic elected body. Now we're having elections under an undemocratic, administrator of the state. So I don't think there's anybody that really, who cares about democracy that would not speak out against what happened and what is happening in Rivers State. It's just unfortunate that politics has become such a toxic thing that we cannot call out things that are against that, because an attack on democracy is not an attack on His Excellency Peter Obi alone. It's an attack on every member of the democratic institution, including the ruling APC party. So the very people who are proponents for all these actions or all the things that are happening in Rivers State will also be the people who suffer from it later down the line.
I saw one of the things that you said about yourself, an outspoken governance advocate. And so let's speak to the governance part of it. Because for every environment, well, even though it is popularly said that there is nothing new under the sun, but then there are some things, we have innovation. Mm-hmm. There are some things will still happen that would be like, wait, what's going on here? In the case of Rivers State, for instance, one of the complex dynamics here is this. On the one hand, as you said, and a number of people have said, these local government elections happened under an emergency, a state of emergency. It's a very novel thing. I don't think that has happened before in our polity, even be it democratic or military. But the other angle to it is that there is a tenure to every local government administration. They have to get out of the office at some point. Now, the Supreme Court has ruled that if you do not have a democratically elected local government system, you cannot get your local government resources. So now we seem to be standing between the devil and the deep blue sea. What do you say about that? It's an interesting dynamic, don't you think?
It is an interesting dynamic, but it has a very simple solution. Now, the reason why we're in this emergency situation is because the president declared it. He cannot declare it at any given time. If his priority is maintaining the democratic norms and ensuring we follow the Supreme Court's ruling or whatever, it is a very, very simple thing to simply bring the governor back in time for the local government elections to happen. It was a simple word that was given from his, and that is still being disputed in the courts, by the way. But he can simply go back on that. We are not in a tight corner. It's a very simple thing. The same way he woke up in the morning, wrote something out, gave an interview, and passed, he can also wake up in the morning and reverse it.
So he just reverses the state of emergency simply because of a local government election?
No, simply because it's unconstitutional and it's detrimental to democracy.
What is unconstitutional? The fact that he declared the state of emergency? The
state of emergency, removing the governor and all duly elected officials within that state. I am of the opinion that it is, unconstitutional. That is still being disputed in the courts, but I have my own strong opinions about that. But he certainly has taken this action, and he can reverse it at any given time. Rivers is not better as a result of that decision.
Well, it's not unconstitutional to declare a state of emergency. What is being contested is the removal of the governor and all of those things. But that is on one hand. Another thing that it's not just Mr. Peter Obi that is getting the clapback. Even the obedient movement seems to be getting the same clapback of cyberbullying and any statement that is not going in a particular direction. It will seem like no other person's comment matters if it doesn't align with that of the obedient movement. How do you respond to that? Is that a fair way to look at it?
You see, these accusations, I find them very interesting. Now, let's bear in mind, what is the obedient movement? Let's try and take that moniker apart, right? It is simply a collection of individuals who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. It's a bunch of individuals who believe that politics can be played differently. And we see an embodiment of these values in His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi, right? Now, not all of us are on Twitter. And this idea that anything that happens in the Twitter space is representative of all of the whole obedient movement is just wrong. The large majority of obedients are people like myself, businessmen, entrepreneurs, who just simply believe that the best hope we have is embodied in Mr. Obi, right? Now, there are some people who do say offensive things. And the truth is, His Excellency Peter Obi has always called for issue-based politics. Not politics of religion, not politics of sentiment, not politics of tribe, not politics of insults. He himself has never insulted anybody. He has, in fact, come to the defense of some people that were being bullied online. So this idea that we are going to blame Peter Obi for anything that anybody on Twitter does is just flat out wrong.
Well, clearly, no one is blaming Mr. Peter Obi for a comment of anybody.
They are.
Oh, really?
Some individuals certainly are.
Perhaps maybe the expectation is as a leader of the obedient, because the obedient movement, the word obedient drew its name from his surname. So perhaps the expectation is, look, you should be able to, correct these guys. And, one wonders whether or not that happens by the system, the leadership, such as yourself.
He has done that. He has done that in the past. He has said it repeatedly that we need to focus on the issues of Nigerians. And that should be the priority. We should focus on the fact that Nigerians are unemployed, the fact that people are hungry, the fact that people are struggling to meet their daily needs. There are families that are deciding whether they can eat egg on Monday or they have to wait till Friday, right? Those are the issues His Excellency would like us to talk about, and not these issues. He has come out again and again and said it is not about anything else apart from the issues. His passion is in Nigerians. Now, I don't know if they expect Peter Obi to give up his pursuit to revolutionize and change our country and start responding that anytime somebody says something wrong, he's like a school teacher with a cane running around flogging people on Twitter and say, don't say, don't say. That's not his job.
Well, anyway, I don't think... I'm even trying to picture that image in my head of some school teacher coming up, but I don't think that will
responding
happen.
To every tweet.
Now, something you said, that a bunch of people who believe that a new Nigeria is possible. Absolutely. So on the one hand, it will sound like anything that does not sound like what the obedient movement wants. Without interrogating it, there is an attack on that statement. On the other hand, you said a new Nigeria is possible, and everybody believes that a new Nigeria is possible, including 100%. The people who are not members of the obedient movement. But the question is how? So to take on that issue, on the one hand, if it doesn't sound like what the obedient movement wants or members of the obedient movement wants, it's clobbered down. How do you have, I'm pretty sure you heard that before. How do you respond to that one?
There's nothing wrong with debating issues. You see, when you say clobbered down, it's almost as if we're trying to close the conversation. I don't believe that's anybody's hope or desire. It's the same regardless of what political party that you support, right? If somebody proposes an idea that you do not align with, you speak up against it. That is the nature of democracy. There has to be a dialogue from both sides. And the obedient sometimes are very vocal about it. They say, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I agree with you.
There are some elements that maybe shouldn't articulate themselves that way. But we get that across board. It's a huge movement. Remember, in the last election, we had over 6 million people vote for His Excellency. Well, that's what was declared for us anyway. We know it was more than that, right? Now, how many of those people do you think are on Twitter? Not many. So the obedient movement is much broader than Twitter. Twitter just happens to be a very vocal area where discussions are happening. And if you look at the nature of Twitter itself as a social media, right, you will see that across different countries, it is known for, you know, being a place of rancor. In America, in the UK, it is that kind of space. And that's okay to an extent, because sometimes things need to be said, right? But that doesn't take away from the fact that the obedient movement is a large movement that is focused primarily on the well-being of Nigeria. His Excellency Peter Obi is focused on primarily the well-being of Nigeria, and that's why he believes in security, education, and creating jobs for Nigerians.
Well, you've also heard this spat between Mr. Peter Obi and Mr. Adeyanju, the back and forth that is making the rounds about that one. Accusation, counter-accusation, daring, you know, here and there. What's your take on that?
I think Deji has spoken well of Peter Obi in the past, right? Because he recognized the value that he brings to Nigeria. Now, somewhere along the way, some individuals hurt Deji's feelings. And I understand that. Now, while his feelings...
Some individuals being members of the obedient movement?
People on Twitter.
Okay.
Have hurt his feelings and said some things that hurt his feelings. His feelings are valid. But he really needs to put his big boy pants on and focus on the main issue of Nigerians. Just because individuals insulted you personally does not mean you then attack His Excellency Peter Obi, who is a bastion. He is a politician that stands above all the rest, and we all know it. So these false accusations, which rightfully, like any other citizen, His Excellency has a right to defend himself. He has a right to sue an individual who's defaming him and making not just insulting statements, but claims of bribery, of things that we all know to be wrong. I mean, look at the antecedents of the man. Here we have an individual who came to Nigerians and said, I want to be your president. And I know they give she. Now you're going to tell me that's the same person that went to go and be talking to Deji about money? Absolutely not. It's impossible.
You do know that, you know Deji Adeyanju.
Yes.
You do know that before this guy will even make any statement, there will be one or two things that he will have up his sleeve. Do you think it is a battle the obedient movement wants to face?
If he has anything up his sleeve, he would have taken it to the right channels. There's the EFCC, there's the ICPC, all of which are on Twitter. He can simply DM them with his evidence and have them do their investigation and arrest anybody who is found culpable. This isn't about crimes. This is a trial in the public space. Now, it begs the question that what is motivating this change? Why is he so desperately trying to harm His Excellency, right? And I think it's because they're afraid. And they should be afraid. The greatest threat to the political system in Nigeria...
Who is afraid now? Deji Adeyanju is afraid?
The existing order and anybody who supports it.
And you think Deji Adeyanju is working with the opposition to the Labour Party?
He is certainly working to the detriment of the one and only viable candidate that is giving us an alternative in Nigeria right now. He is working to, even if he's not under the APC banner, he's certainly working to their benefit and has promised to give his vote to them.
Well, it's his.
It is. He can give it to whoever he wants.
You know, quickly to the question of how that we spoke about the other time. One of the challenges I have seen in my practice is that to a large extent, many people speak without getting facts, without verifying facts. And the obedient movement is no less. Sometimes there are some facts that you hear. Someone just throws something and without verifying it, everyone goes after it. Yeah, I mean, it's not only the obedient movement that does it. And you also said that the youth, we know the way they are and everything. It's not peculiar to this youth generation. The Awolowas, the Azikiwes, they were also quote-unquote rebels in their own time. Otherwise, we would not have the independence we had at the time that we had it. Now, but the question is that of verifying facts. Is there a system by the obedient movement, the management of the obedient movement, for voter education, political education for the people, so they speak with facts, with knowledge, and not just with sentiments?
That's right. Now, there seems to be this mistake that anybody who believes in Obi and says anything now speaks on behalf of the obedient movement. And that's just blatantly wrong. Do you understand? There are people who say whatever they want to say, articulate themselves without fact-finding. That does not mean that that is the stance and the belief of all obedience. I'm standing here today, a firm believer in the obedient movement, a firm believer in His Excellency Peter Obi. And you can check my Twitter, you can check my entire Twitter history. I've never at any point insulted anybody because I believe in what His Excellency says, which is let us focus on the issues that really matter.
Okay.
The issues that will make a difference in the lives of Nigerians. Because no matter how much we talk about what Deji said, what he did not say, people are hungry. Many went to bed hungry yesterday night. And that's not what is going to change it. Okay. It's what we do in the next election that might give us hope.
Okay, quickly, because we're out of time. What party does the obedient movement belong to?
We are firm believers in His Excellency Peter Gregory Obi being the best candidate for the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay.
Right.
So what party does your principal belong to?
Right now he's in the Labour Party.
Not the ADC?
We are working with the ADC.
Okay.
The truth is that there's nothing you can find now that can use and hold P2B or talk of criticizing him. Because when he was an Anambra State governor, he had no past bad record. He would tell you go and verify. Because if P2B had a bad record or a bad past, believe me that it would have been on social media today. But nobody have ever found anything because DSS, EFCC would have been probing. Because these current governments have done everything possible to taunt or to destroy the image of P2B, but they keep on failing. They've tried everything possible to hold P2B, but they can't. So that means there's nothing in the past of Obi you can use to hold him, because he will tell that when he was the Anambra State governor, he did not steal any money. He did not use any public fund for any personal agenda. Now, rather, he was even cutting the cost of governance to impact and to bring a positive effect in the life of Anambras then when he was the governor of Anambra State. He will tell you, go and verify. This man, P2B, helped and renovated over 200 schools in Anambra State, and he brought Anambra State from a ground floor in education to the up floor. This is what someone that have vision does for a state. So tell what else can this government do to tout him? They've done everything, but they keep on failing. They've done everything, they keep on failing. There's nothing they can use against him. So now people are coming to lie, and the issue that if they lie against him, people come out and vindicate P2B. That's just the gospel truth about everything happening. You cannot taunt the image of P2B. If you do it, people will come for you. Ask those that have come out to threaten P2B before. Once you threaten him, you yourself will be threatened by the obedience. Because you cannot harm Obi and go scot-free. That's why P2B is among those you should not tamper with. Don't even try to threaten P2B, because if you do that, the obedience is a powerful movement that will taunt anybody that tries to do anything to P2B. That's why you cannot threaten him and go scot-free. If you come out and threaten him, you receive more threat than the one you gave to P2B. Go and ask the governor of Edo State and governor of Benue State. They will tell you. You don't threaten P2B and go scot-free. You don't do that. Because the obedience will make sure that they taunt you to their very last. They will make sure they pursue you to their very last. They will make sure they hunt you until you apologize. Go and ask Moka in APC that came out to threaten P2B. All of a sudden, he received over 400 threats from obedience. You don't threaten Obi and go scot-free. But let me get your views in the comments. I'll be guys in my next video. But like I said, Deji have failed many Nigerians because we believed in him to be a true activist. Even so also. But for them coming out now to come and lie against Obi show that something was wrong or something is going on behind the scene that we are not aware of. But let me get your views in the comments. I'll be guys in my next video.